All right, welcome to Electric Vehicle Weekly. This week we are going to talk about the 2024 GMC Sierra EV Denali and the 2023 Kia Niro EV, and then we're going to finish things up with the 2024 Jeep Avenger. And after that, we'll answer any questions that you guys have. We'll also talk about a little bit more about the Rivian, that we've got a new video up on that, and also what I'm driving this weekend and what we're going to have videos coming up for. So, um, if this is your first time here, what we do is cover electric vehicle news for the week, and then we just kind of go into some open discussion. If you've got any questions, leave them in the chat, and or if you're watching this on the replay, leave your questions down in the comments, and I will answer those as quickly as I possibly can and with as much knowledge as I possibly can give you. Also, don't forget to go down and click subscribe and click like on this stream so that we can get this around and a lot of people, other people can see the same thing that you're watching and what you're enjoying. So that should go over well. And just so you know, I do have a little bit of a cold, so I might have to mute myself and cough occasionally. But other than that, we are going to get started here in just 1 second. Okay, excuse me for that. Um, if you got any questions right now, go ahead, put them in the chat, and let me know where you're from and where you're watching from. So that'll be pretty cool to see how far we're stretching out. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the GMC Sierra Denali EV, and this is the Edition 1. It looks pretty nice. I was really impressed with it. I was afraid it was going to come out looking just like the Silverado, or the electric Avalanche. I don't know which one you want to call it, but to me, the Silverado looks like an Avalanche. Now, they did a lot better with this GMC truck. It does have a slight angle at the back of the cab, but not like the Silverado. So it does look pretty decent. I like the front. The front has a light up GMC badge in the front, and then it also has the surround around the logo is also lit up, and then you've got your running lights on your headlights. So that all looks really nice, really sleek. The interior looks great, and a huge infotainment screen, uh, which is kind of starting to become the norm in vehicles. I kind of liked the Rivian, how it was integrated more into the dash, and it didn't seem like it was sticking out or was obtrusive or obstructing any vision. So I'm going to give some specs on this, and we'll talk a little bit more about the truck. So the Edition 1 trim will be the only one available for 2024. So you won't be seeing any other ones until 2025. And the only thing you can reserve right now is the Denali Edition 1, which I thought was a cool thing that GMC did. Instead of doing like Ford did and just opening reservations up and saying, "Oh, we got a $40,000 truck," and opening everybody puts their reservations in, and then they decide, well, we're only making so many of these and so many of these, and you don't end up getting what you wanted. Um, so at least, and same thing with the Silverado. I mean, when you reserve a Silverado, you're just reserving a Silverado, and then you choose which one you want when it comes available. Hopefully, they do a little bit better job about it than Ford did. But the GMC, what they're doing is they're only releasing them at certain times, and you can only reserve that trim level when they release it instead of having everybody in the same pool for three different trims. You're gonna reserve now for the Denali Edition 1, and then you'll reserve for the AT4, and then you'll reserve for the Elevation base trim. I think that is the best way to do it because then they know what people want and what the demand is, and then they can ramp up certain products, certain backlogs, and get the parts they need in to meet those reservations. It was a really smart idea. So the AT4 mid-level trim and the base elevation trim, they will be coming in 2025. And it's said that the elevation trim will be about $50,000. So that's a good price point because that's basically what the Lightning is now. The Lightning, they've upped the price and now it's right around 51. I think just under 52,000. So they're going to be hitting that same price point. Now, this is where the numbers that they put out here, they may change. It probably would be for their best bet to change a little bit. So they're coming out with 754 horsepower, 785 foot-pounds of torque. Now, and that's in their max power mode. So they're going to have a mode that you actually gives you all that power, and otherwise, if you're not needing all that power, then you would be in your normal mode. So that will give you, this is where the numbers hurt, 9,500 pounds of towing capacity. Now, the Lightning can go up to 10,000 pounds, I think, or a little over 10,000 pounds with the right configuration. This is saying that their top level trim is only going to pull 9,500 pounds, and a RIvian can pull over 10,000 pounds. So I think they need to do a little work there and see what they can do to up their towing capacity because it's really, it's not going to meet what even the Silverado I think is even higher than that. So I'm not sure why that is a little bit lower. But the 0 to 60 time is going to come in at 4.5 seconds, so that's right along par with everyone else. And it is going to have 400 miles of range from the 212.7 kilowatt hour battery capacity that it has. So I believe that is the same one that they're using in the Silverado. Now, the DC fast charging will be up to 350 kilowatts because it is on that Ultium platform. And they say that's going to give you about 100 miles in 10 minutes, which is pretty good. If you just needed to top off right before a trip or in the middle of a trip just to get you to get you to your end destination, a quick 10-minute, 100-mile addition would be awesome. Now, this is where some of the things were a little cool because they pulled a little bit of stuff from the Silverado and from the GMC Hummer. So it is going to have the same functional tailgate and the mid gate. So you will be able to take the window down in the cab and open up the doors to the bottom part of it so that you can extend your bed into your cab. So you have longer stuff, you can just push it right up inside the cab. And also that functional tailgate will probably have that lip at the end so nothing slides out. And then what they took from the Hummer, yeah, it'll have a rear steering and crab walk. So if you wanted a truck to crab walk and didn't want to pay for a Hummer, you can do this. Now, it's right about the same price as a Hummer, I believe, or pretty close to it, because the Edition 1 is going to be $107,000. So that is actually a little bit higher, I think, than the Silverado. So maybe that, the rear steer and the crab walk costs an extra, few $1,000s to install. So that's why this Denali is a little bit higher. The inside of it is awesome though. It looks great. I haven't heard any negative things about it. I like the front of it. I think it looks way better than the Silverado front. So let me know what you guys think about that. It I was looking at possibly putting a reservation in, but not for this Denali. I was actually looking at something probably in the lower trims, probably the Elevation. I'd like to see what price point the AT4 is going to come in at. since it's about mid-level and the elevation's about 50,000. So I'm really expecting the AT4 to probably come in somewhere between probably around 75 or 80,000. So that might be still a little bit out of my range, but it's a nice looking truck. So I may have to just wait around and see what happens with the Ram EV that's supposed to debut next month. So that will be exciting to see what they're planning. So, what do we got here? We got a few people in the chat. So, where are you guys from? You guys that are watching and see, I'd like to know where you guys are coming from. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the Kia Niro EV. So, it is coming out this fall, so it should be getting close to dealerships, I think, or maybe they're talking about first of next year. But I thought that it was going to be coming out and hitting dealerships this fall. So with the Kia Niro EV, it is the wind base is the base trim. It's the same as the Kia EV6, their trim lines. So the base trim, it's going to start at $40,745. Now, what is cool about this is this base trim is going to come with a whole lot of standard features. And I'm going to go ahead and read these standard features off because it really is a pretty loaded up Niro. So the standard equipment includes 17-inch wheels, automatic LED headlights, heated exterior mirrors, automatic wipers, powered liftgate, an 8-way power driver's seat, heated front seats, dual climate zone control, a 10-inch touchscreen with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 6-speaker Harman Kardon stereo system, and it is EPA rated at 253-mile range. I kind of like the body style of it. Other than I don't like that little back panel that's a complete different color than everything else. I think it makes it look strange and look a little odd. It does have, to me, similar body lines to the just released photos and pictures of the Honda Prologue. I think it looks very similar lines and everything to that, except just a little bit smaller. The interior looks nice. It looks simple, nothing extravagant or over the top. It looks like everything is very easy to reach and touch. So I think they've got a pretty good thing there. And the thing is, I think on their battery pack, I believe is like, I don't know, a 50 or 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. So I believe it gets a pretty decent efficiency. So what do you guys think of that? There's a few different colors. I think some of the different colors with that back panel looks a little better. Like this green one here with the black doesn't look quite as bad. But I think you can get that body colored, but I don't know if it's an additional cost to have it body colored or it's just you can just choose to have it body colored instead. I have heard that it is an option, but I just don't know whether it's there's a cost attached to that or not. Okay, so that is your Kia Niro EV. So, all right, we are going to move on to our next one, and that is going to be the 2024 Jeep Avenger. Now, we did talk about this previously, I believe a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about three vehicles that all were coming out from Jeep. This is the first one that's going to hit the market. The bad thing is that it's only going to be a European model. This will not be coming to the US. So this is going to be Stellantis's first EV on the market. Now they have had some hybrids and some plug-in hybrids, but this is going to be their first fully battery electric vehicle, and it's going to be on their CMP platform, which the CMP platform will they can use EVs or ICE vehicles on that platform. And this debuted at the Paris Auto Show over the weekend, or that's going on right now. I'm not sure. I think it was just the end of last week or something like that, or beginning of last week. It is 106.6 inches long. And so, comparison to that, especially for us here in the US, what we would compare that to is Jeep's Renegade. And it is actually 6 inches shorter than the Jeep Renegade. And if you know how what small the Jeep Renegade is, this thing is shorter. It's crazy that it's shorter. I like it. It looks a lot better than the Jeep Renegade. I would definitely buy this over the Renegade. I'm really disappointed that it is only going to be European model, because I think this thing will be great EV for me to be running back and forth to work in. So it is going to have 156 horsepower out of a front wheel drive um, electric motor, 54 kilowatt hour battery, and what it says is over 200 miles of WLTP range. So not that it really matters because it's not coming to the US, but if we did that in EPA miles, I am guessing it's probably going to be around 160 or 100, yeah, somewhere around 160 miles of actual EPA miles. So that, like I said, that would be perfect for me to run back and forth to work in. I could still charge that up and drive it all week without having to worry about it. So that would be pretty nice, actually. The DC fast charging, they didn't give a rated speed on it, but it did say 20 to 80% in about 24 minutes. So that's actually pretty quick. That's not too bad. I'm guessing probably somewhere around 130 to 150 kilowatts. So that should be pretty sufficient. Now, it did say, even though it is front wheel drive, it did say that it has some off-roading features. So it has an 8-inch clearance. It also is equipped with hill descent control, and it also gets Jeep's Select Train system. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it is a small little off-road machine, but it's got the Jeep name, so they made it, able to go off-road if you choose to take it off-road. So now it also gets a 10.3-inch touchscreen and with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It didn't say wired or wireless. I'm guessing wireless, because that's pretty much what everything is now in the US for the most part. Not all, but most. And then it is also going to have all of Jeep's driver assist system. So it's going to have the whole lane centering and all of that stuff too. So they packed a lot of stuff into this little Jeep Avenger. You know, I don't know what you'd have to do to import one. I know I don't think you can even do that. I think they have to be like so many years old to be able to import some European model that's not up, set up for the U.S. But I like it. I think it's cool. I think it would be a fun thing to be driving around in. All right. So that's all I've got for news on vehicles this week. There was a little something about the Tesla and them working on a new platform that would be able to deliver a $25,000 EV, which, I don't know. We heard the $35,000 Tesla, which was the Model 3, which is now going to cost you 50,000. So them saying 25,000. How long is that 25,000 going to last? A year, maybe two, and it's going to end up being $35,000. So I'm not putting a whole lot of weight into that until I see what happens and what comes out of that. Um, so we'll just have to see. I'm trying to think if there was any other news that I can think of. Right now, I can't think of anything. If you guys got anything in the chat that you can think of, that you got any questions on, or that you heard of, let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about. We had a couple videos for Rivian, and so here is the thumbnail for the first one that I did, and this was on the review. This was the walk around the outside and inside and show you everything that it has in it and what it can do. Its frunk was really big, and uh, the cargo tunnel there that I've got my foot on, I actually could fit inside of it, so it's pretty good size. And the the tonneau cover, they are not very good, and I know that they are looking for a solution for that, to replace those, because there's even been people that have just gotten them and they already are making this really loud clicking noise. It's pretty obnoxious, really. And even brand new, I mean, these are brand new people, just picked up their trucks and it's making this noise already. So they know that they're not good. They are looking at a solution, and they will be replaced under warranty at some point in time when they figure out what they want to do. But it was a really nice truck. I loved it. The inside is, I mean, it's top notch inside. The interior is great. So you might want to check that video out so you guys can see that. And then we also did. I just released this one, and this was pretty fun. This is the driving portion of that Rivian, and there's a few things that we just talk about. How it drives, the comfort, and all this stuff. But this actual picture right here is from us launching it from a stop. And the Rivian is 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So it will pin you in your seat, and until you let off the accelerator, it'll basically keep you pinned into your seat. So, and it was pretty interesting, pretty fun. It really disorients you the first couple times it happens that you do that. Some people even get nauseous. It's so much G-force that, and especially if it's not something you felt before, it can really mess with you. I mean, it kind of bothered me. My head was just couldn't comprehend what was going on the first couple times I did it. Later on, I did it with some friends from work and stuff, and I was fine. But it was just a little weird. Now, my wife, it made her just giggle and laugh every time we did it. So go check that video out. We've got two different launches from a stop. It was pretty fun. And then what we're working on right now, this is what I've got this weekend that I'm doing tests and videos on. So you guys can watch out for this. This is a 2022 Mustang Mach-e GT Performance. I got this for the weekend from Heller Ford in El Paso, Illinois. And if you guys are looking for any of these vehicles, if this is something that you're interested in, give them a call. They have tons of used and new vehicles. They have new F-150s on their lot right now. They have new and used Ford Broncos, two-door, four-door, soft tops, hard tops. They've got them there. So if that's something that you're looking for, and they've got other models of stuff here like this. I've got this Mach-e, but they have Rivians there. They have Raptors there. There is a Ram TRX there. They have GT 500s there. They're just, they have everything. Just check out their website and then give them a call, and make sure you tell them that OSR Garage is where you saw it at. But anyway, that way they keep giving me cars so that I can keep bringing you guys cool stuff, cool videos. Um, Well, really, that's all that I've got for you guys. Just kind of wanted to clue you in on what I had going on after I gave you the news. So that's it. If you enjoyed this, make sure you guys click like, and so we can get this out to everybody else. And if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe. We do this every week, and I put videos up every week. It's just a whole lot of fun stuff. So why not? Just hit subscribe. Well, thank you guys, and have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday.